All right, mindful nerd moment. Um, so admittedly, I know today, or I guess this week, was about Reverse Flash, but he's just there. He's just a lot. So I thought more about the Flash, or just generally the Speed Force, whether it's positively or negatively valenced, which I still think is ridiculous. But um, I was thinking that it would be fun to mindfully run around the world at flash speed.
I like it.
All right. All right. So, keep in mind that you'll be zipping really quickly. But the thing that I like about Flash is Flash and just like having the speed force, being able to go really quickly, you're doing things very, very quickly and yet at the same time slowly. And so I think it's a cool way of imagining being able to use mindfulness where things are really zipping by, but at the same time you can kind of practice slowing them down and really honing in on it. So yeah, let's take a trip or maybe even a few trips around the world. Okay, so as we always do, I want you to sit straight but comfortably. Ideally, you close your eyes, but you can also just make sure that you um, are just focusing your gaze in one place, not really looking at anything in particular. And I want you to notice your breath, paying attention to breathing in and out, using it to help you focus in on this mindful nerd moment. And like we just talked about, I want you to imagine that you are the Flash, whichever version that you wish to be. And you are you're out just on a sidewalk, and you set yourself up and you are getting yourself ready for a run around the world. You just need to take a moment, clear your head, so you figure you'll take a quick jog. But you're setting your intention to take this run and to, as best you can, set aside all the issues with Eobard Thawne, all the super villains out there, anything going on at work or in your relationships. You're just going to set that aside for a moment and try and really take in this run. So you're setting your intention, prepping yourself, and when you're ready, start your run. And I want you to notice the feel of the air. Notice how things change as your speed intensifies. Pay attention to the images, the colors, the light, the shadows. Notice once again how things shift and change as you're speeding by. And as you're running, you're going to get distracted. And you might get distracted by a lot of things. And when you do, you just notice, oh, I'm getting distracted by something. And then you focus back on your run. As you're moving, the scenery changes, and I want you to notice when you're running across land versus water, when you're running on something soft or versus something hard. Noticing the warmth beneath your feet as the friction of you hitting the ground, the coolness as you feel the breeze against your skin. Notice the changes in weather as you run through different parts of the world. Some are sunny, some are dark. Some might be bright and sunshine, some might have rain. There might be storms, there might be a quietness. And just noticing all of these things as you keep running. And I want you to run just a little bit further. And I want you to pick a place, whatever place you want it to be, that's going to be your end point. And I want you to start running. You're still running around the world and you're aiming for that end point. And when you reach it, I want you to stop as suddenly as you started. And once again, notice that change. Notice the change of how the air feels, how the earth feels beneath you. Notice the change in the colors and just your experience of the world around you as you shift from going running around the world, to stopping. I want you to take a deep breath in and congratulate yourself for taking the time to run around the world, do something for you. You've got to do something for you before you do something to help the rest of the world. So you congratulate yourself for taking that time. And then when you're ready, you're going to shift out of being one of the fastest people alive and you're going to slow back down to normal human speed. And we will wrap up the mindful nerd moment. How was running around the world, Keaton?
I loved that one.
Yeah?
Yes. So I one of my favorite superpowers is super speed, like being able,
Ah,
and so like yeah, all I've done this mindful nerd moment before. I just didn't call it
nice.
mindful nerd moment. I just
Yeah.
called it daydreaming instead of paying attention in class. Um yeah, I've done this one hundreds of
Interesting.
times. Yeah, I've always liked the idea of just like super speed, and I've thought about it too. Like I've even thought about like what routes I would take because
Yeah.
like running across the Pacific just sounds like a little boring. But I've even thought because I'm in North Carolina, so I've thought like if I go all the way up north and then cross over to Russia from Alaska and that little bitty strip of land, then I have access to all of Europe. Then like once I get to the tip of Spain or Portugal, I still gotta go. Like I've heavily thought
Wow. Yeah.
about this.
This
And
is
so
amazing.
yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely love the idea of being able to just run that fast and just be able to
Yep.
see so many things in such a short amount of time. Like I've always been
Yeah.
infatuated. I just don't want to run. I don't want to have that weird run like Ezra Miller's Flash. He has that weird like gallop thing. It's strange.
Yep. Well, the thing about mindfulness is it might not all be something you consider pleasant. So maybe part of it is you run in a way that you might think is a little silly.
If I had to do that run in order to have super speed, I would absolutely still do it.
There you go.
Like, don't get
Yeah.
it twisted, Speed Force, if you're listening. I'm willing to run weird if you give me access.
There you go. That's all I'm asking for. And that is mental health right there.
I love this podcast.